Sometimes, even the worst truth is better than the agonizing unknown. That's exactly what Maria Leone thought when her 16-year-old daughter disappeared without a trace. At first, loved ones still filled themselves with hope that the girl would be found alive. But as time passed, hopes melted, and Maria began to pray that her daughter was found, even if she was no longer alive. After all, she could at least put her child in the ground according to all the rules. However, no one expected that the situation would be resolved in such a terrible way. The case of the murder of a young schoolgirl named Melany Steisy Amaya a few years ago shook the whole of Colombia with its unimaginable cruelty and simply monstrous outcome. The most terrible part of this bloody story was the fact that its key participants were ordinary teenagers who had recently linked in a romantic relationship. But let's analyze the situation in detail from the beginning and try to understand how a boy in love turned into a ruthless killer who literally executed his ex-girlfriend. We will also try to analyze what mistakes were made by adults and whether the tragedy could have been avoided. Who is Melany Steisy Amaya? Our heroine, Melany Steisy Amaya, was born on February 21, 2002, in a small town of San Rafael located in the north of Colombia. She was the eldest of two daughters in a simple family, Maria Leone and William Amaya. 2 years later, the couple had a second daughter, who was given the name Natalie. The girls, from an early age, were very close, got along well, and trusted each other with all their secrets. They also developed a trusting relationship with their mother. Melany, from an early age, began to show her creative nature. The girl drew beautifully and had a special passion for cosmetics. She loved to paint her dolls, mother, sister, as well as her girlfriends, and said that she would certainly become a stylist and makeup artist when she grew up. It should be noted that she studied quite well at school, and teachers characterized her as a capable, talented, and motivated child. Amaya was always sociable, friendly, and open, and could be the soul of any company. Others were drawn to her. Therefore, it is not surprising that she had a lot of friends both in school and outside of it. She also had a bright and very attractive appearance, which she skillfully emphasized thanks to her ability to work with cosmetics. When Melany was 14 years old, her parents filed for divorce, but they managed to part peacefully, maintaining a warm relationship. Her father continued to communicate with his daughters, supported them financially, and took a direct part in their lives. After about 6 months, Maria began dating a man named Ruben Morales, whom she soon married. After the wedding, the family moved to the large Colombian metropolis of Medellin, where the man had a good job, and before the girls opened great prospects in terms of education and development. The stepfather had an excellent relationship with his teenage stepdaughters. He did not spare money for their education and hobbies, tried to provide the girls with a better and more comfortable life, and treated them as his own daughters, surrounding them with care and attention. In high school, Melany began to demonstrate a difficult, rather rebellious character. She was seriously interested in music and even intended to quit school to fully devote herself to this occupation. Now, she dreamed of becoming a DJ and asked to be given a mixing desk for her birthday. The girl also had several large, brightly colored tattoos on her arms, back, chest, and leg. Her parents did not hinder her self-expression in her search for herself, but they were just shocked when they accidentally found out that Melany dabbled in illegal substances. Behind her strange, provocative behavior, experiments with appearance, and illegal drugs was a specific person who, in the end, became the cause of the girl's downfall. Death first love in 2016 on her 14th birthday. Melany decided to organize a party and invite all her friends. She invited a DJ. She did not have money to pay for a professional musician, but acquaintances gave her the contacts of 16-year-old Miguel Angel Perea, an aspiring and very talented disc jockey. After some thought, the birthday girl decided to call him. Miguel was really incredibly talented, and he was also good-looking and had a powerful charisma. The guy literally conquered young Melany, and after celebrating her birthday, they began to communicate. A week later, teenagers began to be noticed on joint walks in parks and on the streets of the city, and the girl introduced him to everyone as her boyfriend. The couple became practically inseparable. They touchingly held hands and in every way demonstrated their tender feelings. Miguel was from a large, rather modest, if not to say poor family. To the young lover, he treated with respect and awe. When she introduced him to her parents, The guy literally charmed them so they did not interfere with their relationship. Gradually, he began to spend more and more time in the house of his girlfriend, becoming almost part of the family. Miguel once complained to the parents of the girl that he had problems at home. His own mother does not approve of his music lessons, and the last conflict ended with the fact that she beat him and chased him away. So he was actually left without a roof over his head. Maria took pity on the guy and allowed him to live in their house for a while, until everything settles down. But the woman herself did not realize who she had led into her family toxic teenage relationships. From that moment, Melany and Miguel actually began to live together. For the first 6 months, everything went well. The teenagers were incredibly happy because now they became truly inseparable. However, time passed and the guy began to demonstrate his true nature. He badly, or rather, even detrimentally influenced his young lover. The girl began to study worse, behaved and dressed provocatively, actively began to decorate her body with tattoos, and talked about the fact that she was going to quit school. Over time, the couple began to quarrel regularly, and if before they tried to find out the relationship somewhere outside the house, now they did it right in front of their parents. But the real shock Maria experienced when she learned that her eldest daughter uses illegal substances, which Miguel got. The woman decided to have a serious talk with her daughter, and the latter, with tears in her eyes, confessed everything to her. But Melany assured her mother that she took illegal substances only a couple of times and swore that she would never do it again. When the couple decided to kick out Miguel because of his harmful influence on their daughter, Melany suddenly stood up for him, promising that from now on they would both take up the mind. Maria and Ruben reluctantly agreed, and it became another mistake. Soon they began to notice bruises on their daughter's body, but she stubbornly denied the fact that it was the work of her boyfriend. The girl wrote off everything on sports or her own awkwardness. However, another 6 months later, when another fierce quarrel erupted between the teenagers, Miguel beat the girl so badly that she had to seek medical help. Maria insisted on filing a police report in connection with the assault and bodily harm, but Melany dissuaded her from doing so, saying that she would still deny everything and would not accuse her lover. Melany's parents tried to separate the couple and forbid them to live together, but her daughter said she was ready to run away with her lover if their affair was hindered in any way. This toxic, no good relationship lasted a little over 2 years until Melany herself realized that this man was destroying her life. Scandalous breakup and harassment in early May 2018. The teenagers once again had a strong quarrel and the scandal turned into manhandling. Then Melany herself decided to show initiative and told the guy that they parted forever. The girl also demanded that he pack his things and move out of her house the same day. Otherwise, she threatened to go to the police and report the beatings inflicted on her. Miguel had no choice but to comply with her demands. It seemed that he accepted the fact that they broke up and even asked the former lover to forgive. However, in fact, he was never able to let her go. The guy began to literally stalk Melany. He followed where she goes and with whom she communicates, regularly called and wrote her messages, the content of which ranged from tender declarations of love and requests to forgive him to death threats. The parents of the schoolgirl were extremely concerned about the situation, and Ruben, fearing for the life and safety of his stepdaughter, decided to apply to the police himself with a request to issue a restraining order for Miguel so that he could not approach Melany and did not try to contact her in any way. However, the law enforcers ignored his request and did not see any threat in what was happening, considering that the teenagers would sort out their relationship on their own. Maria also appealed to the prosecutor's office, trying to explain that the guy could pose a real threat, but the woman's words were also brushed aside. For some reason, everyone was sure that the 18-year-old young man would not harm his former lover. But this was the opinion of those who did not know him personally. Mysterious disappearance of a schoolgirl. Almost 2 months had passed since the couple's separation. Miguel seemed to have calmed down and was no longer looking for meetings with Melany. The girl lived her old life. Her grades at school improved noticeably. She met with friends and practiced music. Her parents also no longer had reason to worry. They tried to cross out the former boyfriend of the days from their memory and forget him like a bad dream. On June 28, 2018, the girl was going to a birthday party to her close friend whose name was Isaac. The party in honor of this event was to be held in one of the most popular nightclubs in the city. Melany wanted to look stunning, so she carefully prepared herself, choosing an outfit, applying makeup, and styling. After getting ready, the schoolgirl said goodbye to her mother, promising that she would be back not too late, and left the house to the waiting cab. Maria knew her daughter's friends well, so she was not particularly worried. However, waking up in the morning, the woman realized that the Days did not spend the night at home, which puzzled the parent. She tried to contact Melany, but her phone was turned off, which was an alarming sign. Nevertheless, the mother tried to drive away from her self-gloomy thoughts, deciding that the teenagers simply lost track of time and the smartphone could be low on charge. Closer to lunch, Maria called Isaac, but he literally shocked her with the news that the girl did not come to the party and none of her friends saw her and could not contact her. The woman then started calling all of her daughter's friends and classmates, but none of them could provide any useful information. It turned out that not a single person had seen the girl since she had left the house. The woman immediately called her ex-husband, the girl's father, and William. Immediately, rushed to their home together with Ruben. They went to the police station to file a missing persons report, but they once again showed negligence, noting that you need to wait 24 hours. The teenage girl is probably asleep after a party at a friend's house and will soon show up. However, parents and stepfather decided not to waste time and independently began to look for Melany, involving relatives. Friends they called all the acquaintances of the girl went around all the places where she could be and pasted around the city hundreds.